The Science of Racism. Everything you need to know, but probably don't. Yet. Written and read by Keon West. For my wife, Zoe, and for my sons, Thelonious and Phoenix, the most important readership I'll ever have. Introduction. Here we go again, towards a better conversation about racism. On the 4th of November 2008, Barack Obama was elected as the first black president of the United States of America. In November of 2016, Pamela Taylor, a former West Virginia official, called the First Lady, Michelle Obama, an ape in heels. On the 19th of May 2018 in the UK, Meghan Markle married Prince Harry, making her the first person of colour in memory to join the British royal family. On the 7th of March 2021, Meghan, now the Duchess of Sussex, revealed in an interview with Oprah Winfrey that a member of her new family had been concerned about the couple's son, born in 2019, being too dark. On the 25th of May 2020 in Minneapolis, police officer Derek Chauvin murdered George Floyd by kneeling on his neck for almost 10 minutes. As a result, the Black Lives Matter movement, which had existed since 2013, erupted into international prominence. On the 7th of June 2020 in Bristol, a statue of the slave trader Edward Colston was toppled from its plinth, defaced and thrown into the harbour. On the 5th of January 2022, those charged with illegally removing the statue were cleared of any criminal damages. These events caused waves nationally and internationally, and yet in each case there were those who argued that it was all about race and racism, and those who argued that it had nothing to do with race or racism. Certain people argued that some of the events proved racism was over. Others argued that some of the events proved racism was alive and well. Arguments like these have been going on for some time. As early as the 1990s, books such as Dinesh D'Souza's The End of Racism and later Larry Elder's Stupid Black Men, How to Play the Race Card and Lose argued that racism was over. It was time to stop pretending to be victims. More recently, in 2020, books like Ijoma Oluo's Mediocre, The Dangerous Legacy of White Male America, and Layla Saad's Me and White Supremacy have argued that all white people are beneficiaries of, and perhaps complicit in, a continuing, active white supremacist system. New books are published each year on either side of this heated, polarized debate. We have arguments in abundance. What we don't seem to have in abundance are facts. This book will change that. This is not a political book, but a scientific one. As such, it will lay out empirical facts from the wealth of international scientific research on racism. While this research comes from countries as diverse as Australia, France, and Uganda, a disproportionate amount of it has been conducted in the US and in Western European countries like the United Kingdom. As a result, findings from those countries are overrepresented in this book and in the wider scientific literature. However, the central facts that emerge from this abundance of research are remarkably consistent. This book is not about upending or reaffirming your cherished beliefs. Instead, it will lay out the facts about racism, based rigorously and unerringly upon the best science we have at our disposal. There will be stories in it, some moving, some emotional, some eye-opening, but fundamentally this book is about the scientific method, how we apply it to the study of racism, and what it reveals when we do. If you are a person who genuinely wants to know what the facts are and how we know them, this book is for you. Our values are the blueprint for the world we'd like to live in. Our politics are the roadmap directing us to that world. That much I will leave up to the reader to sort out for themselves. But science is the best way we have of understanding the world as it is. Over the course of this book, I ask the reader to leave that to me. The Science of Racism will start by highlighting how little agreement there is in society about contemporary racism, even at the most basic level. It will discuss how scientists build knowledge about contemporary racism, taking an in-depth look at one kind of experiment, the CV experiment. We will refer back to this type of experiment several times throughout the book, because it serves as a base upon which more complex and nuanced knowledge can be built. Having established how we know what we know through that narrow focus, the book will also take a broad look at what we know about the many areas of life beyond employment that may be affected.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?